What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? You're watching Kansas City Chiefs today, and we've got a spicy one. The headline making the rounds right now says it all. Breece Hall to the Chiefs could finally end Andy Reid's biggest defensive problem. Is it smoke? Is it fire? Either way, it's the kind of rumor that can flip a season if it turns real. Here's why this matters. The Chiefs are searching for consistent answers on early downs and in the red zone, and the offense has felt a tick out of rhythm. Breece Hall isn't just a running back. He's a field tilter who can punish light boxes, punish heavy boxes, and turn checkdowns into chunk plays. If Kansas City wants to steady the ship and make life easier on Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, a dual threat back like Hall might be the lever that changes everything. Stick around because we're breaking down the context, the fit, the trade math, and the ripple effects across the AFC playoff picture. And yes, I want your take at the end because we are pushing the road to 5,000 subs. Let's talk big moves, big stakes, and why this rumor has real football logic behind it. Let's set the table. The Jets are spiraling, and when a team drops game after game with a new regime in charge, every veteran with value ends up in the rumor mill. Hall is young, explosive, and entering the business end of his rookie contract window. That combination always invites phone calls, especially from contenders that need a jolt. On the other side, Kansas City's offense has lived in second and long too often and asked Mahomes to be a magician on command. Pacheco's energy and violence are real, but the run game has been feast or famine, and the screen game hasn't consistently punished aggressive pass rushes. Defenses are sitting on intermediate routes, squeezing throwing lanes, and daring Kansas City to win ugly between the tackles. Now add Hall to that picture. He's a slasher with build-up speed who threatens edges and forces safeties to honor both the run and the swing screen. He can take duo, zone, or pin pull and turn it into explosives when a linebacker takes a false step. Pair that with Reid's misdirection menu and pre-snap motion, and suddenly those nickel looks have to back off or get gashed. There's also the reality of timing and cost. Mid-season trades for backs rarely break the bank, especially when the acquiring team takes on a modest cap hit for a player in the final year of his rookie deal. Think of it as paying for premium touches that translate immediately rather than a long onboarding curve. If the Jets keep sliding and take calls, Kansas City can set a firm walkaway point, protect future firsts, structure a day 2 pick with conditional escalators, and insist on a medical and workload plan designed to keep Hall explosive down the stretch. Let's talk about the biggest defensive problem. Call it what you want: early down inefficiency, short yardage inconsistency, or the inability to punish light boxes, but it shows up the same way: too many 2nd and 9s and 3rd and 7s. When that happens, Mahomes becomes the bailout every single series. That's not sustainable football in November and December. Hall directly attacks that problem. Because he's a home run hitter, safeties can't live at 8 yards without consequences. Linebackers have to stay honest on split flow and counter looks. Even when you don't hand it to him, his motion across the formation holds defenders for the RPO glance or the backside stick to Kelce. That half beat of hesitation turns pressures into hurries and hurries into Mahomes has time to be Mahomes. There's also the red zone factor. Kansas City has had stretches where the field compresses and the spacing looks tight. Hall gives you vertical run threat out of shotgun and under center, plus option routes against backers who are already stressed by Kelce's gravity. Call it 21 pony with Hall and Pacheco, orbit motion to widen the flat defender, then either toss crack to the boundary or instant pivot to a quick slant. Make defenses wrong over and over without relying on hero ball. Pass protection matters too, and Hall is more than a get-me-in-space guy. He can scan, he can square up a free rusher, and he can leak late for Mahomes once the initial pickup is handled. That keeps the entire playbook open. Want to run dagger with a check-down safety valve? Want to sell play action and hit worthy on a deep cross? A back who blocks and releases on time is a coordinator's best friend. Finally, don't sleep on the screen game. Hall sets up blocks like a veteran, patient to the landmark, decisive through the alley. With Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith out in front on middle screens, and Juwan Taylor kicking out on slow screens to the right, you've got manpower to create alleys. That's how you punish blitz-happy teams without taking unnecessary hits on your quarterback. So how would Kansas City deploy him? Start with personnel groupings. In 11 personnel, you can run inside zone from gun with Kelce attached, motion Rice across to ID man or zone, and use Hall on an option track. If the nickel flows hard, tag the glance route. If he holds, hand it off and make the safety tackle in space. That's low risk, high reward football. Now mix in 12 personnel. With Kelce and Noah Gray, you can stress edges and create cutback lanes. Run split zone weak with Hall pressing front side, then bend behind the tight end sift block. The same look becomes boot action with Hall into the flat, and that marries perfectly with Reid's tendency breakers. Show it twice as a run, then hit it as a keeper for Kelce dragging across the field. Pony packages with Pacheco are where it gets nasty. Put Hall offset left and Pacheco offset right. Orbit Hall to influence the nickel, toss crack to Pacheco behind Rice and Worthy as kick-out blockers, then come back later with the same motion and throw the wheel to Hall up the sideline. Defensive coordinators hate that because every adjustment has a counter baked in. Short yardage? Don't just slam into a loaded A-gap. Use quick hitter GH counter with Trey Smith pulling and Kelce sealing. If the edge chases, tag the pop pass. If the box condenses, run sprint out with Hall as a late leak. The point is to turn gotta have it downs into pick your poison moments rather than coin flips. As for workload, keep Pacheco as the tone setter and closer. Let Hall handle 12 to 15 touches as the turbo package, outside zone, screens, angle routes, and a couple of designer shots. That keeps everyone fresh and maximizes efficiency while protecting both guys for the stretch run. Let's address the conversation in the room. Chiefs fans are split. Some want trenches first, others want another perimeter weapon, and many are saying, give Mahomes a true mismatch back and let Reid cook. The media chatter is turning up because the Jets are losing and Hall is too good to be ignored on a team going nowhere. That's the perfect recipe for talk radio and rumor columns. There's also a human side. Hall's a Kansas City native with superstar traits, and the idea of coming home to chase a ring hits different. From a brand standpoint, it's instant juice. From a locker room standpoint, you're telling the guys, we're in go mode. Moves like that can change a team's confidence as much as its playbook. If you're worried about fit with Pacheco, don't be. Football is a roles game. You can have the bruiser who steals souls and the rocket who steals angles, and both thrive. And don't forget, when the backfield is a threat, Kelce's life gets easier, the receivers see more too high, and the entire passing menu breathes. Zooming out, the AFC is a street fight every year. The Bills are the Bills, the Bengals heat up late, the Ravens bully people, and you've still got the Dolphins track team waiting to hit a 60-yarder if you blink. In that crowd, small edges matter. A back who turns a punt team drive into 3 points, or flips a 3rd and 11 with a screen, is the difference between a 2 seed and a wild card. Against the familiar villains, Hall's value is obvious. Versus Buffalo's simulated pressures, you punish them with screens and angle routes. Versus Baltimore's physical fronts, you make them tackle in space. Versus Cincinnati's hybrid coverages, you force linebackers to cover in space and hold the post safety with run action. The goal is simple: keep Mahomes on schedule and make every defense defend the whole field. So where do I land? If the price is reasonable and the medicals check out, this is the rare midseason move that actually moves the needle. It cleans up your biggest pain point, protects your quarterback, and expands the playbook without reinventing it. In a year where margins are tight, upgrading from good enough to dangerous at running back can be the hidden key to January football. If it doesn't happen, the message is still clear. The Chiefs need answers on early downs and in the red zone, and they don't have to chase fireworks to get them. They need efficiency, balance, and a run/pass marriage that forces defenses to pick which poison they want to drink. Hall just happens to be a cheat code for that exact plan. And hey, beyond the X's and O's, there's the story. A Kansas City kid in Chiefs red, taking handoffs from Patrick Mahomes as the crowd roars at Arrowhead. That's not just good football. That's cinema. Alright, Kingdom, your turn. Would you pull the trigger on Breece Hall if the price was a day 2 pick with a conditional sweetener? Do you trust the current backfield to find that next gear without a splash move? And what would your ideal Hall usage look like alongside Pacheco and Kelsey? Drop your takes in the comments and join the road to 5,000 subs here on Kansas City Chiefs Today. I'm out for now, but the conversation is just getting started. Let's keep it rolling, and as always, go Chiefs!